Welcome to another run of Charleston Battery Weekly here with OSG Sports and SDH Networks. Busy show as always. Leading off, it is Mike Kelleher, Chief Operating Officer of the Charleston Battery. We catch up with Mike and discuss what happened with the 1-1 draw with the Miami FC. Kind of look forward to what's going on in Group H with everything else that's currently going on as well. We get the lay of the land at Patriots Point with a little Special K in the A block. Also, in the B block, player spotlight this week is Leland Archer. So it is Mike, it is Leland, it is you, it is me. I'm just John. Mike Kelleher and Special K just around the corner here on Charleston Battery Weekly.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Georgia did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, contact my friend Steve Apolinsky of Apolinsky & Associates. He's been representing individuals for over 30 years throughout Georgia and Alabama. Email him at steve@aa-legal.com or call him 24/7 at 404-377-9191. The initial consultation is free.
We know that every driver is different, and a one-size policy does not fit all. That's why Country Financial offers a variety of discounts, so you get the coverage you need and the savings you deserve. From good driver to good student, multi-policy to multi-car, we've got a discount to suit every driver. Call Jason Wright at 678-568-6871 today to see what you could save. On Facebook at Jason Wright Agency or by phone at 678-568-6871. Discounts vary by state. Policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, or Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Time for the A block, time for a little Special K. Time to catch up with Mike Kelleher because this is his segment. That's why it's called Special K. Mike, good to be back with you.
Hi, John. Nice to be here.
All right, so going into the matchup against not just a Miami FC, but the Miami FC, team at the bottom of the table, but obviously to keep pace with Tampa Bay, it's not a game that you can take for granted going in. It wasn't going to be easy, and this one, once again, certainly was not.
No, I think you said last week, John, you don't know what you're going to get with Miami, and we certainly saw two sides of Miami in the course of a week, you know, the Tampa game, and then a totally different team that came out against us last Saturday night. And, you know, it was a difficult game. I think we were pleased to get away with a point. You know, certainly at half-time you'd have taken a point, but then, you know, 5 minutes to go to concede, it was maybe a little disappointing as well.
At the same time, though, there was an early substitution where Mario Piggott was subbed out at the 15-minute mark. Stavros Zarakostas, one of the newer faces this year for the Charleston Battery, steps in, and he pays dividends down the line for you.
No, it was another fantastic goal, and you know, hopefully he can continue that run of form, striking the ball like he does, and you know, I'm not sure if the goal of the week is concluded yet, but it certainly has to be in the running for it was an incredible goal he scored.
When you look at just the evolution of guys like that, obviously there's a comfort level that has to come with new guys, with the established players and the history of the club and things like that. Obviously, to see his evolution, and I think that the light has come on really for Stavros in the last handful of matches. What's it been like to see that evolution in a player like that, where you know that he's coming into his own?
It's exciting. It's what we, you know, why we do what we do, and you know, you can provide the opportunity for players. You sign players based off of, you know, what you see, where they've been before, what you've seen in the trial or the tryout, whatever it may be, and then you hope that they can perform when it comes to the match day, the game itself, where it really matters. So it has been exciting to see Stavros, and the 2 goals he scored in the last couple of games has been, you know, first class in many ways. So yeah, hopefully, like I said, long may it continue.
When you look at Group H, it is Charleston, it is Tampa Bay, it is Charleston, and the teams below you in Atlanta United 2 and the Miami FC. They are spoilers to the party for the two of you in determining total points and also positioning in Group H heading into the postseason. What's it been like to see the guys making sure that they're focused on the task at hand, not taking a game for granted against either opponent or against any opponent? And we'll talk about the one coming up in just a bit, obviously.
Yeah, I think we said this last week. That's why we've got a coach who's been there, seen it, done it, and we'll have the players mentally and physically prepared for each game and not getting carried away, not looking into the playoff and think we've done it or we've made it or whatever it may be. So, no, I think that's very much the coaching staff, and as well as Mike Anhauser, we've got John Wilson and Dusty Hudop who have been there a long time as well, former Battery players, and of course our trainer Bobby, who's also been there a long time. So it's in a very experienced group of men around the young players and making sure we're prepared and ready to go.
Right now, match in hand coming into the weekend, but it's going up against Tampa Bay this go-around at Patriots Point. 6 points, and going into this weekend, 5 matches to go. The run of form for Charleston has been strong because there's a lot of full points there. There's that D last time out. But the team really seems to be humming right now. What's it been like from your perspective to see the motor continue the way that it has?
It's been great, as I said. You prepare, you put the team together, and then you want to see them, playing to their full potential. And I think we've got a number of players playing right now to their full potential. 8, 9, 10 of them all at once playing. Giving everything. And so, going into this game now, we'll really see where we're at. Was the other week a flash in the pan? The result against Tampa, or can we replicate it? Can we go again and really show that we're where we should be? That people are talking about Charleston as potentially going a long way in the competition. In the latter stages of the year.
When you play a team as many times as you do in this group stage World Cup format that the USL Championship has this year, are there any secrets left on the board, that you can stash for later, or is it pretty much familiarity and you're knowing what you're getting each and every time out? Can you hide some stuff in the back of the book?
I think there's where your squads come into play, isn't it? You mentioned Romario getting injured last week, and so someone else will come in and hopefully have a good game, and that may not have done so well in the last time we played them. But of course, as you said, everyone is very familiar with each other at this stage. So I think there's not too much unexpectedness coming, certainly from Tampa for Saturday night, or Friday night, I should say. But we'll be ready with whatever gets thrown at us. And, hopefully we come out on top.
What about having a shorter week than a full week to prepare? I mean, obviously the grind is a part of this as well, where in some aspects it's midweek weekend. This go-round you've had 6 days to prepare, 5 days of prep and regen to get into this match. Where are the guys, and I know that fitness comes into a great deal of this, but where do you think they are in the grind right now, which is key to this season?
I think that, in training, I think you find they're just ticking over the fitness. Players should be at full fitness now. They're certainly not training to get fit now. It's ticking them over, keeping them going, making sure they recover well. I think the good news for us is that we played a day earlier than Tampa. Tampa also have to travel. We get home earlier. We spend tonight in our own beds, whereas Tampa are in the hotel. So I think all that plays a part. But no, 6 days. I think there's plenty of time to recover. It's not like we played Wednesday and then Saturday. So I think we should be in good shape on that front.
And then you'll have another 8 days after that plus travel. You're staying at home again for another match against the Miami FC on the 20th. But when it comes to this particular match, I know that there have been fans that have been allowed in to kind of see things at Patriots Point and support the Battery. What's the lowdown on the numbers this go around?
Yeah, so we'll be around at about 250 again, and this time we opened it up. We put some tickets on sale, a small number of tickets on sale to non-season ticket holders. We had a great demand. A lot of people wanted to come into the last couple of games where we had it season ticket holders only. So there'll be some new people coming into the facility, which is great. And just prior to this call, we've been discussing hopefully opening it up further for the last two. So a bit of an exclusive there, John. That that we're hoping to grow those numbers again for the last two home games beyond 250, but obviously to be announced and see where that goes.
What are those meetings like when it comes to trying to determine numbers and fans? I mean, obviously there's a progression to get to this point with those meetings, but what are these meetings like when you're trying to figure out, okay, let's listen to what the State Department of Health is saying, what's going on locally? Obviously it's a great juggling act for a lot of different voices in a room.
No, absolutely, John. As much as you want people to come in, as much as you want people to cheer on the team and enjoy join in with the success, share the success of the team right now. We also have responsibility, for the health and safety of people, and we don't want to be contributing to another spike in COVID numbers. And you do listen to what people are saying, what the local authorities are saying, and what the guidelines are. So, we proceeded the whole year with caution, and that certainly won't change now. Like I said, we have a community responsibility here in Charleston to not make matters worse, and we'll continue to make sure we're not. But I'm hopeful that we will get some more in, as we see out this season.
What's it like to see that energy in the building?
It's fantastic. No, we said the first time we had a couple of games I think behind closed doors, and then we had a few fans in, and it lifts the players. No doubt about it. It lifts the players, lifts the coaches. It's good to have people in there and getting behind the team. That there's nothing like a raucous crowd behind you, and hopefully we get to that point, with more people behind us as we drive on.
Leland Archer's player spotlight this week. When I mentioned those two words to you, Leland and Archer, what comes to mind?
Strong, powerful centre back, as you know, and I think he's a young man that's come into his own this season. I think he's had a very solid, last few games. One of the players that really has come into their own this season and is stepping up. A real nice young man off the field as well, but I think he's really stepped up as we've talked about before. As we see so many players at the Charleston Battery, year 2, year 3, starting to fulfil their potential. So no, he's done really well, Leland, and has been very much part of the success on the field.
Well, 7:30 Friday night, Tampa Bay comes to town to Patriots Point to take on the Charleston Battery. Mike, as always, it's good to catch up with you for another round of Special K. We will catch up with you with this match in the rearview mirror, getting ready for another go-around with the Miami FC next week. Thanks for hanging out for the A-Block.
Thanks, John.
When we come back, Player Spotlight, you're listening to Charleston Battery Weekly, SDH Networks. OSG Sports will be right back after this.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. A referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Georgia did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, contact my friend Steve Apolensky of Apolensky and Associates. He's been representing individuals for over 30 years throughout Georgia and Alabama. Email him at steve@aa-legal.com or call him 24/7 at 404-377-9191. The initial consultation is free.
We know that every driver is different, and a one-size policy does not fit all. That's why Country Financial offers a variety of discounts, so you get the coverage you need and the savings you deserve. From good driver to good student, multi-policy to multi-car, we've got a discount to suit every driver. Call Jason Wright at 678-568-6871 today to see what you could save. On Facebook at Jason Wright Agency or by phone at 678-568-6871. Discounts vary by state. Policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, or Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Welcome back, Player Spotlight, Charleston Battery Weekly. Time to catch up with Leland Archer. Leland, thanks for hanging out with us on the show as always.
Hey, how are you?
Doing all right. Now, let me get your thoughts on the whole Group H World Cup group draw sprint USL Championship thing. When this idea came about and you knew that this was going to be what the season was going to be, what was your initial reaction?
Definitely thought it was going to be a little different, playing the same teams in a group a couple of times. I know whether which way it went, whether we were winning or not winning, I think that playing them more than once gave us opportunity to know what they brought to the table.
When it comes to playing, I guess let's go backwards a little bit. And since you went up against the Miami FC last time out, and they seem to be a team that thrives on chaos. What was that 90 minutes like, considering you get the goal early in the fifth? You get the goal from Stavros to get you on the board, then the late equalizer. What happened there?
Yeah, definitely. Playing down by them on the turf was a little different for us because we're used to the grass. So I think it took us a little longer to get our footing in the game. So I think that would cause a lot of the chaos in last week's game.
What's travel like these days? How difficult is it to, whether it's on a bus and it's two separate buses and it's stretched out and it's social distancing or it's masks in an airport going to Miami? What is travel like?
Yeah, it's definitely a little different. Obviously, as a collective team, we have to be careful at what we do, like who we are around and whatnot. So I think that it's a little different, but I think that with the protocol in place, I think it's good that because we're being kept safe. So it's a little different, but I think we're getting used to it.
How long did it take you to get used to it?
Still getting used to it. Still getting used to the mask.
And when it comes to life on the bus, obviously that's the easy part. But what about when you're in a hotel and making sure that you're not your muscles aren't going directions they're not supposed to? Is that roller pillow a part of your existence these days more than normal?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously we can't go walking about and sightseeing as much as we used to in the previous years. So a lot more stuck in the room doing recovery stuff, rolling out, using the recovery legs that we have. So yeah, it's a little different, but that's definitely my best friend right now.
You and me both, brother. When it comes to Group H right now, it's Charleston and Tampa Bay, and coming around once again for like the 11 billionth time this season, it's Charleston and Tampa Bay, except this time it's at Patriots Point. What do you remember about the last matchup?
Definitely a tough game. We were on our heels, they were on their heels. It was back and forth, but I think defensively we were good together as a team, and I think we need to come back and do that again this weekend.
When it comes to going up against old teammates, like they call him the lumberjack at the back with Forrest Lasso back there. I mean, old Battery, the old Battery tales about Forrest when he was here, this and that. How much of that gets talked about in a week like this?
We know what he brings to the table for them. So obviously he played with him, and I think that we know that what he can do. So we're wary of what he can do, especially on set pieces, stuff like that. So I think that it gives us a little advantage, I would say, because we know him as a player. When
it comes to playing a team, whether it's Atlanta United 2 or the Miami FC or Tampa Bay, when you're in this group stage, are there any secrets left on the board as you get later in the year? Is there something that is from the training ground that you're kind of holding back in reserve for that particular moment? Are there any secrets when you play a team as much as you do?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes they have new players that we're not really sure about, that they don't use in one game, but they use in another game. So we kind of make a little point of what these players could bring for them and how to deal with it. So yeah, I think that we got a little secrets coming for them again this week.
Okay, and if at any moment you ever want to divulge any of those secrets here on the show, you can do that. When it comes to having fans back at Patriots Point, what's it like? I know it's not full capacity, and I know it's not what anyone who's supporting a team right now in the U.S. is looking for. But what's it like to have fans back in the building, even though it's a very small number?
Yeah, definitely. I think the fans help us, regardless if it's 20 fans or 100 fans. I think we definitely hear them on the field cheering us on, and it gives you that extra little motivation to run 5 more yards or to make a tackle.
Where do you think you guys are as a team right now? Because I know there's been a great run of form. Is there still room to improve? Are you at full song right now? Is everything at 110%? Where do you think you are as a team?
Yeah, as a team, I think we're playing well together. I think that we've figured out how people play, where people like the ball, what they like to do with it. But definitely always room for improvement. We're playing well right now, but I think that we could be better. We could score more goals. We could stop letting in goals. I think there's always room for improvement.
When you're going up against a veteran side like Tampa Bay, what's it like knowing that they've got guys who've been playing professionally for a long time? They're more a veteran side. You know, they don't have as many rookies as a lot of other teams in the USL Championship. What's it like going up against older, more veteran players who have the savviness and sometimes the ear of the center ref and things like that?
Yeah, it's a little different compared to playing against Atlanta, who are a much younger team. I think that they're a little smarter on how they conserve the energy, so makes it a battle for 90 minutes. I also think that the experience kind of helps them with game management in a sense. But at the same time, I think that it helps us because we have some younger guys who run 90 minutes nonstop, full speed. So I think it helps them and also helps us.
When it comes to guys on the Tampa Bay roster, there are two that stick out to me, Juan Tejada and Sebastian Guenzati. And they come at you doing different things. Tejada seems to have a motor that will go all day long, and he's hard to catch. And he's great with his speed and getting into open spaces, where Guenzati likes to have that veteran presence. And he'll be more than happy to try to force a defender into mistakes and then take advantage of that. What has study hall been like this week getting ready for Tampa Bay and guys like that?
Yeah, we know what those forwards bring for them. They press at the right times for them. They work hard. Like you said, Tejada doesn't stop running. So, yeah, I definitely think that we're wary of that from last 2 games that we played them. And I think that we're going to be able to handle that in the next game because we know what they bring.
No doubt. We will be keeping an eye on that. Leland, as always, thanks for hanging out with us here on Charleston Battery Weekly. It's great to catch up with you and a little bit behind-the-scenes stuff. It's good to see you. Not that everybody's going to be able to see what we're putting together, but it's good to see you. Glad to see that you're safe and doing well. Good to catch up, and thanks for being Player Spotlight this week on Battery Weekly.
Thanks for having me.
When we come back, we'll put a bow on a show. You're listening to Charleston Battery Weekly. OSG Sports SGH Networks will be right back after this.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Georgia did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, contact my friend Steve Apolensky of Apolensky and Associates. He's been representing individuals for over 30 years throughout Georgia and Alabama. Email him at steve@aa-legal.com or call him 24/7 at 404-377-9191. The initial consultation is free.
We know that every driver is different, and a one-size policy does not fit all. That's why Country Financial offers a variety of discounts, so you get the coverage you need and the savings you deserve. From good driver to good student, multi-policy to multi-car, we've got a discount to suit every driver. Call Jason Wright at 678-568-6871 today to see what you could save. On Facebook at Jason Wright Agency, or by phone at 678-568-6871. Discounts vary by state. Policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, or Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Time to put a bow on yet another show for Charleston Battery Weekly. Remember, it is the Battery and the Miami FC going at it at Patriots Point, and it'll be good to see how this one is at the top of Group H. And things could get a little closer, and we talk about relegation six-pointers when it comes to life in European football. This go round in the lives of the Charleston Battery and in the Tampa Bay Rowdies. It is, without question, a competition six-pointer. Could draw the teams closer, could move them a little further apart when it comes to life in Group H, when it comes to life in the USL Championship, playoff positions, seedings, overall points, things like that. So, once again, 7:30 at Patriots Point. You can catch it on ESPN Plus if you're not able to be there. In person, go to charlestonbattery.com for all of your questions, and your 2020 merch is there as well. Just click on the links, get your 2020 gear, and show your support for the Battery. Thanks to Leland Archer, thanks to Mike Kelleher, and thanks to you for hanging out with us for another go-round of Charleston Battery Weekly. I'm just John. Thanks for hanging out with us. Enjoy the games, everybody. We'll see you next week.